The courtroom was unusually quiet when the cameras started rolling. People whispered among themselves as a woman limped through the doors, slowly, dramatically, almost too perfectly timed with the creaking sound of the hinges. That woman was Corinne Phillips. She wore an orthopedic boot, a neck brace, two wrist bandages, and walked with a medical crutch that screeched on the courtroom floor. Her hair was messy like she'd spent the night crying, and her face held an expression of deep, exaggerated pain. Anyone watching her for 2 seconds would feel sympathy. Anyone watching for 5 seconds would sense something was off. Behind her walked Mark Rivera, a mild-mannered 29-year-old handyman who looked like he wanted to disappear. He was accused of causing Corinne's serious injury by accidentally dropping a toolbox near her apartment stairs. But Mark wasn't worried about Judge Judy. He was worried about someone far more intimidating. His mother, who sat in the audience giving him the exact expression that said, "If you lose this case because of something stupid, don't come home." Judge Judy took her seat. Her eyes narrowed immediately at Corinne's overly dramatic limp. "Ms. Phillips," Judy said, "if you're going to walk that slow, at least make it look natural." The courtroom chuckled. Corinne glared, "Your Honor, I am in severe pain. This young man nearly crippled me." Judge Judy raised one brow. It was the kind of brow that said, "Oh, we'll see." ACT 2, Corinne's SCRIPTED lies. Judy flipped through the paperwork. "You're suing for $15,000 in medical bills, pain, suffering, and emotional trauma." Corinne nodded dramatically. "Yes, Your Honor, I could barely sleep for weeks. I haven't walked properly since the accident." Judy held up a paper. "You told the producer you injured your left foot." "Yes," Corinne quickly replied. Judy leaned forward. "But your boot is on your right foot." The courtroom gasped. Corinne blinked rapidly. Well, the pain moved. My doctor said it can shift internal swelling." Judy cut in. "Swelling is not a Wi-Fi signal. It doesn't shift to another limb on command." Laughter burst from the audience. Corinne's cheeks flushed red. Mark looked at the floor trying not to laugh. ACT 3, the defendant speaks. "Mr. Rivera," Judy said, "your turn. What happened?" Mark stepped forward with a calm but tired expression. "Your Honor, I live 2 doors down from Corinne. I was carrying a toolbox down the stairs. One screwdriver slipped out and hit the tile, nowhere near her." Corinne gasped loudly, overly loudly. "That's not true. It almost hit me on the foot. I jumped back and twisted my ankle." Mark sighed. "Your Honor, she wasn't even on the stairs. She was outside taking selfies for TikTok." Judge Judy turned to Corinne. "Is that true?" Corinne's eyes widened. "Absolutely not. I don't even use TikTok." Judy smirked. "Interesting, because attached to this case file," she lifted a paper, "is a screenshot of your TikTok account called Corinne Queen Official with 12 videos posted 2 hours after the alleged injury." Corinne nearly swallowed her tongue. Those were drafts, old drafts, auto-posting." Judy stared at her like she had heard every lie known to mankind. ACT 4, the doctor's note. Corinne reached into her oversized purse and pulled out a crumpled sheet. "I have a doctor's note right here." She handed it over proudly, like it was her golden ticket to victory. Judy held it up. "Patient is experiencing generalized pain and recommends rest. Signed, Dr. Philip Rollins." Judy narrowed her eyes. "This is a chiropractor, not a medical doctor." Corinne lifted her chin. "He's licensed. Licensed to realign spines, not diagnose fake ankle injuries." More laughter. Corinne protested. "Pain is pain, Your Honor." Judge Judy set the paper aside. "Let me ask you something, Ms. Phillips. Why do you have a neck brace on if the injury was your ankle?" Corinne froze. I fell wrong later because of the ankle pain." "So the ankle injury caused the neck injury?" "Yes." "And the ankle pain also caused wrist injuries?" "Yes." "And the ankle pain caused both your arms to be in bandages?" "Yes." "And the ankle pain caused you to come into this courtroom looking like a mummy cosplaying an insurance claim?" The courtroom exploded with laughter. Corinne's mouth opened and closed like a broken goldfish. ACT 5, the security footage. Mark handed Judy a USB. "Your Honor, the apartment complex has security cameras. The manager gave me the footage." Karen's eyes filled with panic. Judy signaled the bailiff to play it on the monitor. The footage showed Mark walking down the stairs normally, a screwdriver slipping and hitting the floor. Karen standing 6 feet away, recording a video on her phone, striking poses. She looks at the screwdriver, looks at the camera, then dramatically grabs her foot, falls to the ground in slow motion and begins filming herself crying. The courtroom screamed. Karen looked like she wanted to evaporate. Judy paused the video at Karen holding her phone high while crying. "Ms. Phillips, this is an Oscar-level performance. Unfortunately for you, this is a courtroom, not Hollywood." Karen stuttered, I was in shock. People react differently in shock. "Yes," Judy said flatly, "some people call an ambulance, you open TikTok." The audience howled. Karen covered her face with her hands. "Act 6, Judy has had enough." "Ms. Phillips," Judy said slowly, "you have lied about nearly every detail of this case." Karen whispered, I need the money." Judy cut in sharply. "Being broke isn't a medical condition, and it isn't a license to commit fraud." Mark nodded silently. Karen trembled, "I didn't mean to." "You meant exactly to," Judy snapped. "You planned this, you staged this, and you milked it for everything you could." Karen burst into tears. "This isn't fair." "Oh, it's very fair," Judy said, "and we're just getting started." Karen blinked. What do you mean?" Judy leaned forward. "You brought me a chiropractor note, you claimed severe injuries, you said you were under medical treatment, so I made a phone call." Karen stiffened. "And I brought in the doctor." The courtroom gasped. Karen's face drained of color. "The actual certified orthopedic surgeon who reviewed your case file is waiting outside." Karen nearly fainted. The audience murmured loudly. Judge Judy turned to the bailiff. "Bring the doctor in." The doors opened. A tall, calm orthopedic surgeon in a white coat walked into the courtroom holding a medical folder. Karen whispered, "No, no, no, no." Judy smiled. "Oh yes." Most cases ended quietly, people got up, whispered, and left. But not this one. Karen stood frozen at her podium long after Judge Judy had walked out. Her crutch dangled from her hand like she wasn't sure whether to drop it or use it. Her face went through every emotional stage a low-budget actress could perform: shock, panic, denial, outrage, embarrassment, and then finally, defeat. Meanwhile, Ethan began packing his documents calmly, like he had been waiting months for this exact moment. He looked over at Karen. She stared at him with a trembling lip. "You ruined everything," she whispered. Ethan shook his head. "No, you ruined it yourself." Karen swung her crutch up dramatically as if she were about to collapse again, until the bailiff raised an eyebrow. She instantly straightened. "Caught again." Ethan almost laughed. Almost. Act 6, Karen's meltdown in the hall. The cameras followed the litigants into the hallway where the post-case interviews happened. Ethan stood quietly on one side with the interview mic in front of him. "What do you think about the judge's ruling?" the producer asked. Ethan took a breath. "I'm glad the truth came out. I didn't want anything from her, I just wanted her to stop lying." It was simple, honest, clean. Then came Karen's turn, and the hallway suddenly turned into a soap opera. Karen stormed into the interview spot, clutching her crutch while half limping, half stomping. "She humiliated me," Karen shouted. "Judge Judy doesn't know what I go through, nobody knows the pain I'm in, I'm basically disabled." The cameraman zoomed in. The producer said gently, "But your doctor said you weren't injured." "He lied," Karen screamed. "Everyone is lying, the doctor lied, Ethan lied, the cameras lied." Ethan blinked. "The cameras lied." Karen rolled her eyes dramatically. "Yes, they edited the footage, how else would they show me walking without the crutch? That's obviously fake." The entire hallway fell silent. Karen jabbed the air with her crutch. "I will appeal this decision, I will sue him again, I will prove I am injured." The producer politely asked, "What injury, can you describe it?" Karen froze. Her eyes darted left, then right, then she blurted, "My leg hurts sometimes when I think about it." Even the security guard nearly laughed. Karen groaned loudly, dropped her crutch and stormed off. Walking perfectly fine. The cameras caught everything. The internet would eat this up later. ACT 7, Judge Judy's backstage moment. Back in her chambers, Judge Judy sat down at her desk with her glasses perched low on her nose. Her executive producer poked his head inside. "Good case today," he said. Judy smirked. "These people think I was born yesterday." The producer chuckled. Judy leaned back. "What bothers me most isn't the fake injury," she said. "It's that people like her waste the court's time. Real victims don't get to stand here because someone like Karen wants attention and free money." The producer nodded. "You handled it perfectly." "Of course I did," Judy said. "I have better instincts than half the hospitals in this country." They shared a laugh. Then Judy added, "That young man, Ethan, he's got a good head on his shoulders. I hope he doesn't let this nonsense stop him." It was Judy's rare soft moment. The kind audiences loved. The kind that made millions trust her. ACT 8, Ethan sees the viral explosion. Ethan walked out into the parking lot relieved. The sunshine felt different. Lighter. Like a weight had finally been lifted off him. He turned on his phone. And the notifications were exploding. His friends had already seen the interview clip. His cousin sent. "Bro SHE was walking like a Marvel villain skull. His coworker wrote, "Judge Judy cooked her so hard there's nothing left." And then someone sent a video. A clip of Karen yelling into the camera. The CMERAS lied. It already had 142K views in just 30 minutes. Ethan sighed. "That's going to be everywhere by tonight." But then he chuckled. At least people knew he wasn't the villain. ACT 9, Karen's last attempt at revenge. Karen didn't go home. No. Karen went straight back to the mall where the original accident allegedly happened. She stormed inside, waving her crutch like she was leading a protest. Employees stared. Shoppers ducked. Karen marched to the security desk. "You," she pointed at the guard, "show me the footage. I know you hid something." The security guard blinked. "The footage." "Yes," Karen yelled, "I need to prove he hit me." The guard scratched his head. Ma'am, we didn't hide anything. The judge already saw the tape." Karen's eyes widened. "The what?" "Yep, she requested it yesterday, we sent it." Karen stood perfectly still. No. She clenched her fists. "What was on the tape?" she demanded. The guard hesitated. Then said, "You walked into him while texting." Karen's soul left her body. "And then," she whispered. "And then you threw yourself on the floor and screamed, 'My spine.'" The man tried not to laugh. Karen turned red. Deep red. The color of rage and humiliation blended into one. "I was acting out of shock," she yelled. A kid nearby giggled. Karen stomped away, forgetting to limp again. ACT 10, the twist, the mall manager steps in. As she headed toward the exit, the mall manager, a calm, older woman, called out, "Ma'am, a moment please." Karen stopped. The manager approached her politely. "Are you Miss Thompson?" "Yes," Karen said proudly, regaining her dramatic limp. The manager sighed. "Ma'am, we couldn't say this earlier because of the legal case, but you actually owe us money." Karen froze. "What?" The manager handed her a printed document. "You filed a false injury report at our mall. That caused us to shut down a section for 2 hours. That's a violation of mall policy. You owe us $750 for misuse of emergency response." Karen almost fainted. $750. "Yes. That's unfair." "Ma'am," the manager said gently, "you faked an injury in front of hundreds of people and spilled a smoothie on purpose. That's not exactly legal." Karen's jaw dropped. The manager added, "We'll send the invoice to your home." Karen's crutch slipped from her hand. Again, she didn't limp after it. ACT 11, Ethan gets an unexpected surprise. Meanwhile, at a nearby cafe, Ethan finally relaxed with a coffee. He sat outside, scrolling through his phone, smiling at the support he was receiving. Then a shadow fell across his table. Ethan looked up. It was Dr. Wilkins. "Oh hey," Ethan said, surprised. The doctor sat across from him. "I just wanted to say," he said, "you handled yourself well today." "Thank you, you too. I'm sorry she dragged you into all this." Dr. Wilkins chuckled. She's been trying to get medical exemptions from me for months. I'm glad the judge called me in. Ethan sipped his coffee. The doctor paused, then smiled. You know, I might need help with a tech project at my clinic. You do computer systems, right? Ethan nodded. Yeah, I'm an IT technician. Well, the doctor said, I could use someone trustworthy, especially after dealing with people like Ms. Thompson. Ethan blinked. Are you offering me a job? Part-time, good pay, flexible schedule, interested. Ethan felt his chest warm with relief. Absolutely. Corinne's lies had accidentally opened a door for him. Life was funny like that. ACT 12, Corinne's final breakdown. Corinne sat alone in her car, staring at the mall invoice. Then she stared at the crutch. Then at her phone. Then at her reflection. This is all Ethan's fault, she muttered. I'll expose him somehow, I'll show everyone. Her voice cracked. No one was listening. No one cared. Her lie had blown up so publicly that even she couldn't pretend anymore. Her phone dinged. A new viral clip. Corinne claims the CAMERAS lied, WALKS perfectly fine 3 seconds later skull. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Corinne buried her face in her hands. Her acting career, if she ever had one, was officially over. ACT 13, Judge Judy's closing thought. Later that evening, Judge Judy sat at her dining table with her husband, sipping tea. She glanced at her tablet, seeing the viral clip of Corinne. Her husband raised an eyebrow. Another one. Judy sighed. They never learned. He chuckled. I'm proud of you. Judy smirked. I know. Then she added softly. But I hope that young man is doing all right. He deserved justice today. He squeezed her hand. He got it thanks to you. Judy nodded. Another day. Another case. Another lie defeated with truth. ACT 14, the ending, karma comes full circle. A week later, Ethan walked confidently into Dr. Wilkins' clinic for his new job orientation. Corinne meanwhile received a $750 invoice, a court warning, a mall ban for 30 days, and thousands of online comments mocking her fake injury. Life had delivered her the karma she tried to avoid. Ethan, on the other hand, found peace, clarity, and even new opportunities. As he left the clinic that day, he passed by a woman who looked familiar. Corinne. She froze. Ethan kept walking, confident and calm. Corinne weakly lifted her crutch. Then dropped it. She didn't chase him. She couldn't. Not anymore. The truth had won. And for once, Corinne didn't have the strength to fake anything.